Hello and welcome to Race Space. Tonight we are back for the X Series, heading to Sugo, Japan. Joining me on commentary right now for the first sprint in the road cars is Ratek. How's it going, man?
Good evening, mate. Yeah, all good from this side.
Yeah, I was just checking here. I don't know, we might have had like a moment of quite a long silence, but it doesn't give me the normal notification to say the thing was going, so I just had to search to check it was on. But it looks like it's working, so that's good.
Same was happening from my side as well. So yeah, looks like we're running live now, and
Yeah, and we're staring at the pavement. We like to see some pavement. There's no
gonna
cars
say
on track.
this.
They've all got their garage doors closed. Check it.
There's one going out. I'm just trying to find who they are.
No, they're all going out now.
Okay, there we go.
So what's quite interesting is both commentators in here won the events last time we did this in China. Ratek won the sprint in his same cars in China, and I somehow won well, I didn't win the sprint, but my points for winning the endurance made it the total points was enough to win the event. So that was interesting. That's not going to happen again, I don't think.
No, I don't think we get that much luck, do we?
Yeah, I
general?
think
So,
it's nice to put our names up there once in a while, but anyways, yeah. So you can critique this one now. You're a winner of this class. You can say how you use your expertise to say how they're going to drive here.
Yeah, I mean, total different track layout, and the Sugo track, I do enjoy it myself. There's a lot of good cambered corners. There's a couple that are off camber as well, which can really drag you out to the outside of the track.
You can just see Ali looks quite twitchy there.
It does, yeah, it does look unstable, but tyre temperature, I think, with it being autumn, you can see the leaves are all nice and brown. Tyre temperature is down. Ambient track temperature is quite cool. So,
I think it's going to be a good race. I mean, we got a couple more guys here tonight. We got Pressure there. We've seen him before in some of our other series in the past. It's nice to have him back. And Davi. Davi is also on track, so a third Italian tonight. We are loving our Italians here.
joining the team Matsuzi, isn't he? So,
yeah, he's going to be representing there. Obviously, only two of their cars will get points. It's not three. You can have a third person in your team, but only two drivers will get points towards that team for the team championship. There are no teams in this specific class. This is just the drivers championship in the X2s.
such a fun class to drive, though. I do enjoy driving these.
They do look
move
like a lot of fun.
around. Yeah, they move around underneath you, and you can catch a drift. They're not too snappy when they do get out of shape.
I think it's also it's one of these cars that's sort of set up that you can just get in and race.
Yeah.
It's not much to do with the setups.
Visually, it looks like it's understeering quite a lot. I don't know whether they're experiencing that on track, but you can see the angle of the front tyres is
very angled to get it around some corners that don't look like they should be that angled.
No.
Very sideways there for him.
First one to set a time.
Pressure just behind him there with a 134. 131 from Davi. Kenny with a 130.
Yeah, Matsushi looking strong. I know I've done some practicing in the X1s, and that is my average lap time at 127. Somewhere around now. And we always know that the X1s and the X2s aren't too far away from each other, are they?
Sometimes I almost want to say that this class is probably it might even be a little bit quicker, to be honest. And I don't know if that's down to the acceleration or what, but from research I did before the series started, it seemed that a lot of the faster lap times were actually from these cars.
Yeah, whether the, I mean, I haven't checked on weights, but you can imagine these being a lot lighter, couldn't you?
Yeah, lighter, and then that'll help with the acceleration a bit, I'm sure. And I mean, this car that's what it's sort of geared for. It's like one of those aerial atom kind of, you know, it's a pure track car.
Uses the Audi engine, doesn't it? A 2-litre turbo Audi engine.
Yeah, it's the Audi engine. Austrian car, German engine. Ooh, just runs it wide there.
Yeah, it's quite down into 125s on the last lap, so that's a storming lap. Fair play.
That is very quick. It's quite an interesting livery he uses there. It looks like a French flag.
It does, yeah.
Could even be like a British Union Jack or something from that one angle.
Yeah. Daffy's sitting in second on the 129, so he's, you know, first time out in these cars. He just gets out,
goes into the wall.
And that through that section there, you can hit the curbs, can't you? Really unsettle the car, and that's the outcome, tough. Basically.
But let's take a quick look at someone else, because we're staring at a pavement there.
Yeah.
Kenny's done the same. He's off. I mean, Matsutsi went off there, Davy went off there, and Kenny. So it just shows that's going to be one of the sections to watch in this track.
To see Kenny getting up to speed, we know that he can, by the end of qualifying, he can normally be right up there.
He did struggle in this car in China, though. This car wasn't his usual. Yeah, I'm sure it was China.
He's not putting his full focus into this car. It's maybe into the X1, which is.
It was either this car, or it was the GT4, and I'm not sure which one. But he struggled on one of those sprints in the one car.
I think it was this one, because I remember him being down behind me, which I was very surprised about. I was waiting for him to catch me up at some point.
But we do know as well, Kenny does race a lot of games. So even that switching between sometimes, if he hasn't had enough time to practice, sometimes maybe it just throws you, or you're too used to another game.
Yeah. I must say, Motormouth and both Roy have not set a time yet. So whether they're struggling just to get a clean lap in.
Could be that they've sat in the pits for a while as well, just doing setups.
Yeah.
I think that was the case in the UAE, if I remember right. On the Dubai track, they sat in the pits for quite long.
I'm a little bit different. I like to get out there, whether I've got a setup or anything, just get out there and bang some laps in. Yeah.
Usually if I'm sitting in the pits, it's to make a pit strategy. I don't fiddle with the setups too much other than fuel. But obviously you don't really have much of a pit strategy here because you don't have to pit. So it's sort of just repairs if need be.
I was going to say, just make sure you've got a good repair strategy set up, and that's about it. Way to go then.
But that is a very nice color blue there that he's got.
Yeah, it definitely is. It looks nice, doesn't it? Turned out on that car.
Stands out. There's the black and gold.
Yeah.
So this car's a winner.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, and I didn't make too much of a mess in there last time. I didn't leave any Red Bull cans.
No crumbs from the pie you ate.
No. You know, us Brits love a pie, mate. We love a pie.
I also like a good pie.
Yeah, to see whether Motormouth and Rui on this last lap now, that whether they can just bang in a good lap just to get to a solid timing.
Who's that? He's filming that. I think. Which car is that? That's one of the new guys. Is that Davy or is that Pressure? I think it's Pressure. Yeah, that's pressure.
Yeah, it's pressure. Yeah, just getting out of shape on that curve.
So
that
obviously
curve
he's also new. He's getting used to the car. He hasn't driven it yet, I don't think.
So I think Motormouth has give up there. He's not going to get time to do a lap in.
Sometimes that's also a strategy, though. Is sometimes guys like to start from the back, and they kind of let guys make their mistakes in the first few corners. And because sometimes there's a bit of pressure starting up in the front as well if you aren't confident.
See, pressure just quite aggressive in the corners, isn't he? I think he's just got to
throwing it a little too much.
Yeah, I mean, first time out in the car, so I mean, there's no disrespect to him, but he's just got to find his rhythm, get settled in it. But you can see there, Matsushi, Ali, so them two having 125s, very strong, very close. 0.004 of a second between them.
You can tell they've done some practice, I think.
Yeah, they've been sneaking in a bit of practice, and Davi, new to his championship,
in fourth
he's not
at the
too
moment.
far away.
Just runs it wide there. Takes the rallycross Joker lap on the last corner.
I think that's qualifying done. So that's how they're going to start.
So it's looking good there.
It's a strong Italian showing, isn't it, at the front of the grid there?
Yeah, sorry, but I think there's going to be blue screen of death now. I just always screenshot that in case there's a mess. Alright, so if you've watched the X series before and you've seen the sprints, it's a standing start now. So as soon as the lights go green, we are in the race. Formation laps only come for the endurance, which we only do on a Thursday night. So I gotta say, I'm a fan of these KTM Expos. They very cool looking cars.
They're cool looking, they're different. There's nothing like on it. I mean, obviously you mentioned the aerial atom, but that's more kind of space framey exposed, isn't it? Where these they are a cool looking car and they're really fun to drive. I can't express that enough. I enjoy these. You know, it's something that I hadn't come across until we started this championship, and it was then that I realised that it suits kind of my style of driving. Moves around underneath you a little bit. You can catch a drift. It's not too snappy on the oversteer or. Yeah, they're really cool.
Yeah, it's a solid little car.
Hopefully, with 8 cars on the grid as well. This is the most cars that we've had. Hopefully, this first lap, everyone just settles into a position and sets up for a good race.
So obviously, G32 and Rock there in the back, they've got a bit more experience than Davy and Pressure in these cars by now, I would think, unless these guys have done other championships in these cars. I don't think lots of communities do use these cars, so it's probably a lot of the guys' first time when they come race with us. And they're off. Great launch there from Carlo.
Launch, isn't it? Yeah. And I think everyone's had a good launch.
Look at Ali there.
Having a look on the inside.
So this is full Team Matsutsi at the front.
Kenny not too far away in third. The other guys just running a little bit
wide. There.
Pressure and Davy. That's the new guys.
Davy is in that one with the more. It's like a yellow on his car.
Yeah.
There. Yeah.
But yeah, that allows G32 to make up some good positions there. And as you say, a bit more experienced, just kept his head that first corner, and the other guys just ran each other wide. So good move there by G32.
And Rock is also up in the mix now. We've just lost Motormouth. Not sure where he is.
He's
just struggling there a little bit.
He's regaining. I think he might have had a bit of a moment.
A spin. But Kenny is up. No, he's still in third. I thought this was Kenny. That's a cool angle.
Yeah, I give it a quick switch on the cameras just to check on how these guys are doing up at front. And see them two Italian brothers. They're
looking solid right now. Kenny's keeping it
honest. Yeah, Kenny's got a good run down this straight. He's making time on Ali.
And
he's not letting him get away.
It's quite intimidating when Kenny's breathing down your neck, because you know he's not going to let up.
Yeah. It's very rare that you see him make a mistake, and as you say, you can just keep them honest and get a bit more settled in the car, and I think it could be a three-way battle between these guys.
So if you've been checking out our channel lately, you would have seen Kenny actually posted a lap here, like a pre-race. Just see Roy there in the background have a spin. Don't know if it was just him or someone else involved. See pressure.
Oh, man, he's already back to the pits, so he's picked up some major damage somewhere, crawling into his pit box.
Yeah, that car doesn't look comfortable right now.
No. Maybe I was a bit too aggressive in it last time out and didn't leave it in a good state. But
you're supposed to save the engines, save the engines. But as I was saying a bit earlier, before that big spin, so Kenny actually posted the pre-race lap of this track that you can check. We're going to be trying to do those for basically the rest of the races of the season. So if you want to see what the track looks like before we do these races, there should be those posted for most of them. So that's quite cool.
It's cool just to get a good insight, isn't it, on obviously he's using the ideal racing line when he's posting that, because no one else being on track.
And then it's a bit easier to know where they are. Like what you're looking at now, you kind of have a driver's perspective on where they are at the moment.
Yeah. G32, he's got some clear air now. Obviously,
not a lot of pressure from behind either, so he's looking comfortable.
That's quite fitting, because no, it's Davy behind him. I was going to say there's pressure behind him, but no, it's Davy, so he's regained his position after that first couple of laps where he had a little bit of ram wide, didn't he?
Yeah. But the battle here seems to be at the front.
Still very close together, them three guys.
You know, I think he's pulled a bit of a gap, but I mean, if he makes a mistake, they'll catch him relatively quickly. I think the bigger fight right now is probably Ali and Kenny, but Ali's doing a good job there.
As you say, with that pressure of Kenny behind you, it's easy to make a mistake.
But Ali did well in this car in China, didn't he? Or did he? He was doing well. I can't remember exactly what happened. It's been 2 weeks.
I was having a...
Kenny! Kenny made a mistake into the wall.
Yeah, it was Ali that I was having a major battle with at the front. His defensive lines, if Kenny gets behind him, Ali's defensive line, his racecraft was second to none. So
he's one of the best at defending Ali. From races I've had, he makes that car as wide as a building.
So Kenny's got a bit of work to do now to catch on to the back of these guys, especially Ali.
But that's taken the pressure off of Ali a little bit. Now he can just keep his cool a bit more.
G32 still running a solid fourth. Davy
looks like he's catching.
Yeah.
Very colourful car, that one. Quite like it. Ooh, just goes into a spin.
Lost a bit of time there, so Davy, that'll make him keen to catch onto the back end of him.
We mustn't compliment anyone. As soon as we compliment them, they spin.
It's always a way, and it would
I see Rock is in the pits now. I wonder what happened there. Also a bit of damage.
Okay,
looks like he's changed his tyres.
Which we don't normally see people changing tyres visually, do you? But
that's impressive.
Yeah. Pressure. Sat in 6th place. Lost a little bit of time, but having a good run.
So due to that pit stop now, Rock has dropped to 8th place, Motormouth into 7th. So some of the guys at the back here just struggling a bit. I wonder if it's setups or if it's damage. Because I mean, these cars, they're not relying too heavily on like aero and everything. They're relatively solid cars. Like they don't, unless you hit a wall hard, I don't think it's going to give you a huge amount of damage.
Yeah. Mouth's after his pit stop, he's got out there now, and he looks pretty
He's looking
comfortable.
a lot more confident now.
Yeah. Just check on in on Roy. He's back out of the pits now, so he's got a lot of time to catch up. I say now, even onto
so
the back of
he's
Motormouth,
got
so
pressure there in front of him, but I think he's a lap down on these guys. Or 2 laps, because he's on lap 4. No, he would be going into lap 5 once he gets to the line. Because those
Pressure's
guys...
on lap 5.
Matsutsi is on lap 6.
Just checking on these guys out in front. So Matsutsi is just pulling ever so slightly away from Ali, isn't he?
He is. He's doing well here. But it's always the case with Carlo, or Matsutsi is his name there. He's got the pace. He puts in those faster laps. It's just can he hold on to the entire race? That's
when he's on it. He is super fast. It's just a slight little mistake here and there which can drop him down. But looking how he is tonight, I think he's in one of his harmonic moods.
In the zone. Unless he needs to, for the people that watched our endurance the other night, you wouldn't have known this, but when Ali dropped off at the end, it wasn't because he had damage or he was struggling. He needed to take a pit stop, which was actually a pee break. He took a pee.
Yeah. We are all human at the end.
Oh, there he goes!
He
he gets it the full way around, full 360. That was... I think he's just showing off now. He's got enough space that he can do that.
we saw some guys in Rallycross giving it the 360s the other night. I think Matsutsi there just thought, yeah, I've got time to give it one of them. So hopefully he can regain it, just gain his composure again.
He didn't hit anything, so he's got no damage from that.
No. If ever you were going to have a spin, that's the type of spin that you want in your life, isn't it?
Yeah, full way around, don't have to go into reverse. Everything's good. I did a bit of a spin like that the other night in Rallycross, going through the tunnel in
yeah, I think we caught that one as well. It's but that's just going to make Ali that little bit more hungry, isn't it? Just to...
Now he knows he's within range. He can...
But Kenny's dropped off.
I wonder he must have made another mistake somewhere.
Yeah, 10 seconds now down on Matsutsi, so...
Remember he did go into that wall though, so he might have picked up a little bit of suspension damage or something. It might just be dropping him back ever so slightly every lap.
You look at the lap times from the top 3, they're in the 120s, 29s, 27s, and the rest of the guys are running, 131 for Davy there.
That was a 129 for Matsutsi, and he had the spin. So
yeah,
I mean,
fair play. But Davy, for his first run, he's showing good pace, isn't he? 4th place.
Yeah, he's looking solid here. we will see all these guys again in the next sprint for the GT4s. So some of these guys, I'm sure, are using this as a bit of a test session for what's to come.
Just to dial themselves into the
so
track.
What do you think after driving this car and then practicing a little maybe in that GT4? Do you think it's an advantage to have driven these first and then go into the GT4, or do you think it's a disadvantage because you're getting used to a different sort of car?
Well, I can see your point, but I can't really comment on that because I haven't jumped from this car into the GT4 in race kind of circumstances. I raced this car and then I jumped out into commentary, didn't I? So
yeah.
I mean, like, just in general kind of fun lobbies or anything that we've done before, I can adjust to both of them within one lap, if you know what I mean. You kind of just get that different sense of feeling. There's not a great difference between them that I find, but everybody's driving style is, I suppose, a little bit different, isn't it?
You can just see Davy there coming up on the back of Kenny, is it? No, that's
Motormouth. Yeah, he's coming to lap
I
Motormouth.
thought, geez, if that's Kenny, he's really pulled out some good laps there, but
yeah, well, David's dropped into the 129s now, so
he's finding his rhythm.
Yeah, I'm impressed that he's jumped into this car for his first race of this championship.
It was quite a last minute registration. It was just a couple minutes before we actually started now. So.
He's obviously had a bit of an afternoon practicing with
there you go,
Matsuzi
with his headlights on. You know he means business when those headlights come on. That's his signature move. He's about to put in the fast laps now. He's in the 126s.
Yeah. Well, he's 126s. Yeah, that's impressive.
Ali with the 127.
Qualifying. So to run that when your tyres are worn, and obviously they're getting rid of some fuel, so they're getting weight advantage.
I would have thought you put your lights on, it takes some power away from the car. You go a bit slower, but
psychologically, no, I'm with you there. Is I only put my lights on when I'm behind someone, and then I still think, do I need to do that because I might be taking away some power from the engine or something?
It's like in real life when I'm trying to go faster in my car. You turn the ACs off, you turn
close the windows. But no, I mean these guys, Matsuzi and Ali, they're pulling away. I mean they're 13 seconds now.
He's not even trying to intimidate anyone. There's no one ahead of him. He's just, it obviously is a bit of a mental thing for him. He just seems to, he unlocks the next level when he puts his lights on.
He's doing it for the cameras. He's doing it for the viewers, mate. He's and Ali as well. He's got his lights on.
I have to say, I don't use my lights in a race. It's too much stuff to think about. It's only if it's a night race. I gave it a flash over the line the other day, but that was it.
The Thursday night, the endurance is a night race, isn't it, right here? So that should be pretty spectacular to.
That will be great.
To see.
And when it comes to the night races, when the drivers lose their lights, a lot of the time you have to pit because you can't see. So
yeah.
We might see a couple more pits than people intended then.
Just looking down. I don't think anyone's relatively too close out on track at the moment.
It's just the brothers here are the closest. Kenny's dropped back quite significantly. I reckon he definitely must have picked up damage, because that's an interesting view. It looked like the cameraman dropped the camera on the floor.
Cameraman had been off for a toilet break and just come back, and I was asking him to find Kenny. Kenny looking smooth though, but obviously, as we kind of suspect, he might have picked up that little bit of damage.
Let's see what lap time he puts in there. He's about to cross the line.
Yeah,
27, so he's sort of back on it now. Maybe he's just making mistakes.
Yeah. Let's go to Davy, which, you know, I mean, this is an impressive drive. That cameraman's just need to sort himself out. No, it's an impressive drive, jumping into it for the first time out in the car.
Two new liveries we need to learn now. So we just got used to the other guys in their cars. Now we got these two new ones.
G32, I'm sure he'll be happy up in 5th place. Motormouth has moved up.
He's past Pressure now. So quite the comeback drive, considering he pitted at the start.
Yeah, he was quite considerably down on lap, wasn't he, on the time?
Yeah, it's doubtful he's going to take another position, because it looks like that might be G32 behind him actually. And G32 is in front of him in race position. So, but he's done well to get where he is.
Pressure new to the championship as well. I'm sure he'll be happy just to be out there. But you can see Roy's. I mean, like he's got a bit of time on Roy, hasn't he? But yeah, I mean, we got 3 laps left. These guys
he could do it. Depends if there's mistakes made. Depends how quick Roy's going.
Yeah. See Pressure just
quite twitchy. It almost looks like he's damaged the car somewhere, maybe.
I can't remember whether Pressure is on controller or steering wheel.
That is also possible.
Yeah.
It's been a while. When did he last race with us? I think it was Race of Nations.
I think it was, yeah. Going back to that.
No. Didn't he? He had a couple races. Didn't he have a couple of races of the Scorch series with us? I know Shadow did that, but I think Pressure might have done one.
Right. No, he goes into a spin there.
So this is going to help Roy. Roy's going to be like hungry for that position now.
But he gains it well. Does a nice 360 donut to get it back out.
Could just see Roy closing in there.
Roy will be seeing that and thinking, oh, he just runs
out
wide over.
Ali wins. Did Ali win?
Yeah, Ali's win.
No, I think Carlo just stopped. I wonder now if no, Ali did win, so we missed the Ali move.
Apologies for that, viewers, but we totally missed that. But that was unexpected.
That was a good race from those two. They were solid.
Kenny's also finished, and
Davy now will be coming to the end.
That caught me out a little bit because we were watching other guys that obviously were down on like 10 laps, and I thought we got a lap or two in hand, but obviously some of these guys had pitted, hadn't they? Which dropped some lap down.
Threw them apart quite a lot. So Davy in 4th in his first race. That's good from him.
G32. It's not too far behind him as well, really. We're looking at that when he's coming over. I think he was a lap down, wasn't he?
He's a lap or two down.
Yeah.
But good result from him to get where he was after that bad
Ali
start.
Won.
Yeah, that's...
we missed that. It was such a close finish.
That would have been an epic finish, That's nuts. I wonder... So Carlo must have had another spin or something, because he had a bit of a gap.
Must have had a spin, yeah, on that last lap. Pressure must have got to him, and he's just had a mistake, but...
It's almost like we can't say Pressure anymore when you got a driver in called Pressure. You got to try find another word.
Yeah, you could easily get mistaken, couldn't you?
Yeah.
Pressure got to him.
Pressure got to him.
Pressure
but-
had nothing to do with him,
Yeah.
but the pressure got to him.
Yeah. You say pressure took him out of this race, but it wasn't not that pressure, but the
Not pressure the driver.
yeah.
But yes, unfortunately we missed that climax to the race, should we say?
Yeah. All right, so we're just changing quickly to the next lot of cars. If you're watching the stream, you will see it here. All right, and Mark is now racing, so you guys will get to see. I'm sure he's going to take another win here. I mean, he's on a win streak.
I'll be happy with anywhere really. It's just fun to get out there on track with any of these guys. They all know how to race.
And you can just see Tarmac is joining as well. He races in this class, but not the road car class. So it's an extra driver. So it's the same story going into this one. It's a qualifying session and then into a 13-lap race.
So yeah, I think
That's 9 cars.
Joining you. I'm going to bail out because I need to go
Get sorted.
For a Matsuti break.
Yeah, and change your livery. It's wrong.
Yeah. Just bear with me because I haven't used this car. I think it's 82, isn't it, for this one?
It is the second one, yes. Kenny is the 81.
That's it. Yep, he's 81. So right, okay. Thanks very much, and I'll catch you guys later.
Cool, man.
Enjoy.
Have a good one. All right, guys. So tonight I'm staying on stream. I was previously racing this car in the previous races, but it is my turn on commentary. For those of you that don't know, Motormouth, myself, and Radtech, we are all sharing that green car there and that black and gold one that Motormouth was using in the other class. So there will always be 2 of us on commentary and 1 in the car. So just waiting on Motormouth. He should be joining this chat pretty soon, I'm sure. But then we will get things underway. I think this is going to be an epic battle. For some reason this GT4 I think has had some closer battles than the road car counterpart. Alright, just waiting for Motormouth. I think most of the guys there are ready now. They got their thumbs up. Just waiting so we can confirm that we have a cameraman, otherwise you guys will probably be staring at a pavement or something. That's not what you want to see when there's action out on track. Sorry guys, you're gonna see some blue screen of death here. I think I know what the problem is. I think that Motormouth is on a different profile tonight and he can't get into this chat. So I'm just adding him. He swaps between the V8 profile and the V12 profile. Ah, there he is. I figured out the problem.
And then, lo and behold,
There, I figured out the problem just now. Your
What you
V12
invited.
your V12 profile isn't in that chat because it's a different profile from what you usually use.
Yeah, I've only got the V8. Yeah, that's always. To be honest, that worked out really well. I don't know if anyone told you, but I will broadcast it to the world that being diabetic, my bladder was saying, I need to go somewhere. So I had to go somewhere. I did ask them to tell you, but nobody obviously did.
All right.
Not a problem. So it worked out quite well because I'd literally just sat in my chair as I got the invite to the party.
I think Mark also just said he needed to run to the toilet or something. So he looks like he's got his thumbs up now. He's got his car sorted, and I think everyone's good to go. I'm hoping.
Happy days. That was good. That I to be honest, apart from lap 1 where the grass pulled me into the railing, I don't know if you saw that because I was at the back anyway.
We missed it, but we assumed there was damage because you looked like you were struggling a bit.
Yeah, that's why I thought, you know what, I'll pick.
But I just want to confirm, so you got all your stuff ready for cameras, and
I'm hoping so.
Then we can go.
We should all be good to go. Obviously I won't know until the screen comes up, will I, properly how we are, but basically all the settings that I've got on the wheel should be exactly the same for both profiles. So I remember doing it quite some time ago. It's just I haven't had much chance on this profile yet to get walloped in public lobbies quite so often, so it was still on 1402 before this race. but because I hadn't used this one as much, I'd only got it up to a B profile, I think. I've only got it up to a B on this one, but hey.
So what do you think of this track after just doing a race now?
I love Sugo anyway. It's a track I always like. I love it in Ginetta GT5s. In slow cars, it's brilliant. It's like I say in that. I'll be the first one to admit that I don't mind the Expo. It's not my favourite car. I don't find it the easiest to drive. I actually prefer the mono of cars that are sort of
like track
vaguely
cars.
Similar. Yeah. Kind of vaguely similar to drive in terms of physics, in terms of the way they are, but
so Tarmac looking keen there. He's first out on track.
Yeah, straight out. See, in this again, track temperatures. I mean, I've got the advantage now because I was in the first race, so I know what if we're running the same track temps and ambient temps. Then obviously I had mine in Fahrenheit because I'm old school. I'm Imperial. But I'm an Imperial Stormtrooper. No, I've been called other things, but we'll settle for that one.
You can see there Radtech also out right behind Tarmac there, so he's keen. He's just been in commentary. For those of you that were wondering who was in commentary, it was Radtech.
Who is he? Who is this man? I'll tell you what, let's pop them up. Oh, that's not what I meant to do. That's what I meant to do. But that's what happens when you press the wrong button. It'd just be interesting to see. I mean, I put in 14 laps during qualifying. I wasn't interested in doing a qualifying lap per se. I just wanted to get used to the
feeling for how it drove with the fuel.
Yeah.
That tends to be what I do. That's why I never really go for fastest lap time. I just want to feel comfortable enough in the car to do a clean race.
And that's me exactly. We might as well stay with Tarmac. He's going to be the first around, isn't he, to put a lap in, and then who's behind him? Davy. It's not Davy, it's Davy, if I remember from the first time round.
It is Davy.
Yeah, because we were all calling him Davy, weren't we, first time round?
I think you called him Davy. I called him Davy.
Get over it.
But then after I called him right, then I think I started calling him Davy after you did.
Yeah, we should get him a Davy Crockett hat. We'll call him Davy. But no, in fairness, that was a good race. Apart from, like I say, from a personal perspective, the one thing I did with the tyres is I literally ran them all on the lowest temp, which is about 10.15 psi, which is about 0.7 bar, roughly. Basically, I ran them as flat as I could run them. to try and get heat into them for the race, and it pretty much worked, I think. Any more, I think I'd have struggled with them. But Tarmac was saying to me earlier, I don't know if you probably weren't in the Discord chat at the time, but he said he was doing some practice laps earlier on, and he put low pressures in the tyres, and basically what he found was in this particular car, he was cooking them. That's a 28
so
and a 27 between.
he just overtakes him there with a 127,
Yeah.
so he's behind, but he's slightly quicker there.
These are going to be quite close, aren't they, some of these?
Davy with a 127, so that's super close. Tarmac
decent for
28,
pressure as well.
130 with pressure, so...
Yeah, that's decent then.
I actually find, for some reason, like, as nice as those other cars are, and some of the guys really say they enjoy just jumping into them, like Ratek was saying earlier on the stream, he enjoys them.
The Expos.
But these Expos are actually, the battles seem to be closer, I find, in these ones.
Out of the two, it's a no contest for me. I'd rather drive this every day of the week. It's a far more stable, sensible drive. I mean,
yeah. You see, that's what Ratek he was saying. He kind of likes those cars that slide a little bit underneath you, and that's sort of what the road car version does.
Yeah, it certainly does. It certainly does. It's a proper. It's really, really. I'm trying to think of the right word to kind of explain what I want to say.
But check,
right
Matsutsi is in a 126 and Ali. So they just dominated that previous race, and they're showing pace again. Kenny with a 126 as well, not so far off, but just not
which was how
quite.
It was in the first race. Kenny just had I don't know what you saw, because I did have the stream up, but my PC screen decides to go into screensaver mode sort of randomly, and it did it while I was driving.
Tarmac also up into a 127 now, and Davy. Yeah. So, I mean, look how close that is.
You got six people.
2-3 car battles, pretty much. You got
just over a second between 6 cars, which is damn good.
And even the back 3 are close as well with their times. Yeah. Pressure, G32 and Rock.
I mean, this car is certainly faster. I mean, G32, Tony and myself were like 1/10 of a second apart in the Expo. So I did a 31.6, he did a 31.7, so there was nothing in it. So this car is slightly faster. Its gearing is obviously better, but the cornering of this car is what wins. As Kenny takes over at the top there. Oh, well, he did, briefly.
Carlo says, no, that's my spot. Yeah. I'll take that back, thank you very much. Check there, he's on a 26.0, he's almost on a 25.
Was he close enough to have drafted Kenny? No, he probably wasn't, was he?
No, it doesn't look like he's got anyone ahead of him.
No, there was a bit of a gap. I'm just looking now on the track map. No, you can see Kenny just coming through sector 1.
I don't think Carlo took that route though that he just took now in his fastest lap.
No, that was the one I did in lap 1 in the Expo. And he's just decided.
Quite a few guys did that. Carlo even had a 360 spin in the race and held on to first for quite a while.
Let's have a look at Ali. Oh, okay. Let's not have a look at Ali. Oh, look, he's disappeared. Look, he's not. Oh, there he is.
He's driving out for us right now.
That's like drunk cameraman syndrome, isn't it? It's just you. And I'm not saying I'm drunk.
So okay? Ali has also knocked Kenny down again. So these guys.
So where's Kenny?
Davy on a 126. Look at Davy in the fight now.
Yeah, they're all going to be. This is going to be quite.
This is going to be an epic fight.
Tarmac's improved, I think. 27.2. I think he's improved that. See, there's a few of them close together now. Is that Tarmac behind Kenny?
Let's just see. Let's have a look at Davy and Pressure, because they both new to this series and class. Yeah. So
well, I thought that was a really good lap from Pressure. Again, you've got drunk cameraman syndrome, which you get on some of these tracks, I'm afraid. Pressure's just behind. He's just behind Kenny. So he'd do well if he was close enough to get a drift off him.
If he can follow Kenny's lines there, he might get a good lap.
Who's behind Pressure? They're just trying to put some air into their tyres. No, it's not Tony.
No, it's a white car. It'll be Ali.
Yeah. Is it Ali?
It'll be Ali.
Yeah, because he came out the pits, didn't he? So he's trying to get some heat in him. Let's jump back. let's get back here and have a look. So they're just coming around the final corner now.
It's quite a nice livery on that car.
It is. It's not bad, is it? Look at how much lock it's showing on there.
Yeah, that's what we were commenting on in the last race, is that the cars are in like full lock and it still doesn't quite look enough.
No, it's in some of them it was really good fun. To be honest, after I'd done a few laps I got faster, because it was a case then of looking at it and thinking I can ride some of these curbs. Is that Kenny just coming back out again? Yeah, he'll have time to get
this
one.
livery on this car of Precious reminds me a lot of Andreas Buckerad's livery in the World Rallycross.
Is it royal blue? It's pretty much navy blue more, isn't it?
It's got that like different shades of blue on the black. It's a nice livery.
Right, so
but
Kenny's given up with that. He's disappeared.
Let's take a look there at Davy. Davy's also new.
Kenny's disappeared. He's not there. He's like a bit of tarmac. But we know tarmac. Anyway, let's find Davy. He's a tree. It is some of the physics in some of the tracks. Sorry, some of the views and some of the tracks are hilarious. And in all fairness, it's trying to pan around the corner, but it's not realising that actually there's half of Sherwood Forest, which isn't Sherwood Forest because it's in Italy. No. Because Sherwood Forest is not in Italy.
He just set another
25.
fastest lap.
But by a second. Look at that,
25.3.
That's really well and yeah. He's sitting back on that one. Do you blame him?
Yeah, he wants people to answer back now if they dare.
Yeah, they haven't got long. Kenny's given up. Ali's obviously out there.
I wonder what Davy's going to get here. He gets slightly better, I think.
Oh, yeah, 15 thousandths of a second.
Ali in at 125 as well. Wow.
Oh, he's not quite in. Anyone else? Who else is out there?
Team Matsutsi there is the team to watch.
Yeah, they're flying, aren't they? In these.
They had a bit of a disaster in China, so they're really going to, I think, put in a performance
to pull the points
here.
Back, aren't they? Looking to get the points back in. Is Tarmac on her fast? Yeah, he is. Well, I don't know whether he will be after that. He's certainly using as much track as he can. No, he won't be now. Breaking into that. That seemed to slow him right down. But he's up. He's
that
up
to me, that car of Tarmacs and G32, because they're teammates. That's like proper KTM colours. Orange.
Yeah, proper orange. And believe it or not, I've got a KTM dealer just down the road from me. one of few in the country, but he is literally. But unfortunately, he ain't got any of the cars. It's only the bloody bikes he's got in there. Which, trust me, if he had some of the cars, I wouldn't mind going in there for a test drive. Which would be very nice.
I'm a big fan of KTM bikes.
Yeah, they've got loads there, to be honest. You'd love it. Another lad that I used to race with, who lived, believe it or not, up in Aberdeenshire, up in Scotland, about 600 miles away from me. He was coming all the way down into England, about 700 miles, and they were picking up a bike on the way down, and they came to that dealership by me, which was kind of... Takes it from Ali, so Carlo from Ali. I like looking at the sectors as well, just to... Because sometimes you get a real feed. It's interesting because...
You can see Sector 3 is where the Matsutsis make up a lot of ground.
Yeah, because Carlo's faster in Sector 1 by quite a lot. He was like 0.7 of a second faster in Sector 1. That's where all his time was. Sector 2 and 3 was nip and tuck. But the two of them in Sector 3, they're obviously carrying the speed out of Sector 2.
It's actually quite this is a cool camera angle now on the start.
Yeah, it makes
quite a nice one.
It makes a change. It does make a bit of a change from the sort of front on look, isn't it?
You can see the two teammates there. It's nice. It's like a grid lineup. I suppose if you go to third place, we'll get the same for the next two cars.
So you see the shadows of the clouds going across the track.
Let's check out RadTech there quick and see if it gives us the same angle on them.
Oops. It won't if I press that because it's the wrong button.
Yeah, there we go. So
Yeah.
look, it's
Oh,
teammate
that's cool.
and teammate. That's Ratic and Kenny.
That gives us
Double
that give us a
team,
nice-
double. So 2 teams. Then they got
Let's get
Davy.
back here. It might gravitate to the. Oh yeah, that's what I thought it might do for the corner.
Nice
We want to
start
try and
there
see if
from
everyone gets through.
Pretty much everyone.
Yeah, they've all got through there, haven't they? I just want to see if everyone gets.
It looks like
no,
one
there's
of
a
the
bit
green
contact
cars,
there. Yeah,
Ratic,
Kenny-
dropped back a little, but Kenny
Was
also
that-
with
was it-
contact now.
That was Kenny and Davy, wasn't it? By the look of it, I think. I just want to see that everyone gets
Ratic
through.
all the way back at 9th. He's had a spin or something. Ratic dropped from
Was it?
he was in
he the
3rd.
car? Yeah, he was. I thought he was the car that tagged with.
Another spin, big
Oh,
one
we
there.
got
2
another
cars. So
pressure.
that's
Pressure.
Tarmac
No,
and Davy.
Davy. Is it Davy? Yeah,
It's
Davy.
Davy and Tarmac.
Yeah.
Well, that helps Ratic just get back in some sort of fight now. So he's up into
Yeah,
8th, right on the
If
tail of
anyone's
Davy.
got damage off that. Oops. Drunk cameraman again. Oh, there he is.
Oh, another
Oh,
person
just
ran
as
off. That's
Was that
Kenny.
Kenny? No.
Kenny
Was it
ran
Kenny?
off.
Yeah,
It is
was,
Kenny
wasn't it?
in the
I
green
was
car
right.
up front.
My God, it's all happening in this race, isn't it? Why can't there be in
They
this
gotta,
race?
yeah, they
Look
got
at
to
all
give us
crash.
some time to focus on one crash at
Yeah.
a time.
Yeah, Ali's gone. Ellie's gone. We got Roy right at the back of Kenny here.
Roy's doing well here, actually. He did well in China as well in these cars.
Yeah, he certainly much prefers these to the Expos. I don't think the Expos is cup of tea at all. I thought he was going to go in a pit.
Someone's making a move there behind them. That's G32
yeah, you've got
and
G32
Pressure.
and Pressure. I think Pressure's trying to come down the outside, but
He's looking up the inside now.
G32 was trying to defend it. I think he was trying to defend the early, because I think if G32 had stayed out to his left, to my
Davy
right,
is in the pits now. I wonder if he's pulled
He's
in
got a
now. He's
penalty
got
as well.
damage.
he's
Is
got
it
a penalty as
penalty?
well.
He
There was
probably
a red
sped. He sped into the pits. I think he didn't
There
put
was
his
a red
limiter
against his
on.
name. Yeah, 10 seconds.
Yeah.
There you go. You can just see it there. It's easy done.
He
But that
never
was
put on
probably
his
with,
limiter.
I'm assuming.
All right, let's go back on track and
Let's
check
have a
the
look at everyone.
battles.
So we got Tarmac there in 8th. You've got Attack there in 7th.
Ratic actually
who's-
getting close to Pressure as well, and he's dragging Tarmac through.
Yeah, he's getting it. I mean, according to me, according to the timings, there's like 4 seconds different, which is kind of a bit weird. Doesn't make a lot of sense, that. But yeah, because Tarmac is.
Well, they've only done like 1 lap. This is the 2nd lap they're on now.
True. There you
So
go.
that was the ones they had
that
their
makes
spin
more
on.
sense. Yeah, but again, it's not too convoluted. I think Davy might have called it a day. I don't know. Oh no, fair
He's
play.
out.
He's coming back out. He's just coming back out.
Ali
That's
in
okay.
1st now.
Yeah, he's those two. To be honest, let's get
Kenny
here
and
a second.
there's a huge
That's where I
battle
wanted
going
to
on
be.
here.
That's where I wanted to be. I wanted to pick so I could get the best view of all 3 cars.
This
You know
is
what I
going
might
to be.
do?
So Kenny did well actually, because remember he ran wide, so he's done an epic job to get back in the fight
Yeah,
again.
he has fought well because they were flying early doors. That's what I might try and do is
This is a race.
this. I don't like using this, but sometimes it's not a view I like per se.
Yeah.
But if you're,
I
if
think
you're,
it's
this
better.
is supposed to be.
It's-
This is supposed to be on board, by the way. This is supposed to be. This is supposed to be that. It was supposed to be cockpit view to begin with, but I'm in the wrong car now. I wanted to be in the 3rd car to look at all 3 cars, depending where you are on track. But it took too bloody long now, so I'm back in where I want to go here again, because you get a good. That's supposed to be trackside, by the way. There,
There we go.
it lies.
So
It's just some views are good at certain times, but these 3, I think, are in it for the long haul,
you
aren't
can
they?
see Matt Suzi Carlo there. He's put his lights on again. We were just saying in the previous race, whenever he puts those lights on, you know he means business.
Believe it or not, in some racing, they say you either. I mean, in a lot of racing, your lights are on all the time per se, aren't they? By default, they like you to have your lights on all the time, whether it's daylight or not. But I suppose, and there's some racing where they say, you know, they don't like you to flash your lights excessively etc., etc. But I know plenty of people who do like to flash their lights excessively, and so do you.
I don't flash my lights.
No,
I do it when I cross
alluding to that.
When I go over the finish line in first, I'll flash my lights. So it doesn't happen very often.
Yeah, it's I do that about as often as Halley's Comet is seen. Once every 76 years, for those that don't know. But
the lights looks like the way to go, because Kenny's got his on too, and he's leading this race now.
I just think it looks better. It looks better anyway, I think, from a spectacle perspective, if you can say it like that.
They're going to need their lights on for the endurance event, because that's in the dark.
That disappeared again. Oh, we've lost
Davy is gone. I wonder if he's just retired.
Where did Kenny go?
Ooh.
Kenny went off-roading. So he might get taken there.
Ratek has also moved past pressure now, so while we're busy here, there's also obviously some action at the back.
Going on here. You got these three as well.
Because Tarmac's gonna... No, what happened to... That's G32 behind, so Tarmac's dropped off.
Yeah, he's dropped 10 seconds off, so I'm assuming that he's probably taken a bit of a slide. You can see him; he's just coming round the beginning of the bottom bend, but he might get
action
back into
everywhere.
contention.
And we're only going on to lap 5 now.
The G32 is there at the moment. You've got pressure trying to make a dive on Ratek, which, in fairness, it's a bit confusing, the angle from there, because it looks as if he's closer than he is. But once you can see them moving into the apex of the turn, you know that the gap is. That's probably 4 or 5 car lengths, isn't it? The gap between. Oh, it's not now.
And Roy there, Rock, is just in sort of no man's land, which is, it's kind of nice.
Not a bad place.
When you're a driver, you don't want all that pressure behind you, you know?
Literally, especially when it's pressure.
That's what we were trying to say earlier. We need to find a new word to say other than pressure, because we can't use it anymore.
I got to jump in here for these three again.
Yeah, this is the battle here.
Like I say, you've got 2-3 car battles going on. You've got first, second, third, and you've got 5, 6, and 7.
And those 3 cars at the back, they're catching up to Rock maybe, so you might get a 4-car battle.
They will, because if they pull each other along, if they're slipstreaming each other, which they probably will do, like these 3 are, then, to be honest, that'll put them in good stead. And I'm watching their 3 dots coming round.
But this is close racing. This is.
But it looked it, didn't it, from qualifying? Let's be fair. Look at these race times now. Okay, they're carrying a bit of fuel. That's interesting, actually. I'm just going to do this rapidly. 17.6, 19.2, and 17.7 respectively. So I knew there wasn't going to be much. Oh, Matsushita took a bit of a run there. Carlo, he's just trying to keep the pace. It's, again, I don't know how well you know this track, Kyle, but
I know the track. I'm not very fast on it. I like the track, but I tend to make mistakes. It's quite thin. It reminds me a bit of a British track at times.
Is a bit. It does a bit. It's you have to full send it. You literally have to dare to not brake very much. It really is that. Try and look at these guys. I know we're looking at the front of them, but when they're coming into some of the corners, even some of the tighter corners, you'll see that the braking is not massive. There's a bit of a gap opened up behind, by the way, because I was looking at their dots. But I'm not going to move from these 3. But they've spread out a little bit.
You can see Ratek is closer now to Rock, and the G32 got past Pressure, so I think Pressure made a mistake, because now there's a bit of a battle between Pressure and Tarmac.
And it might have involved, it might have slowed down
Tony.
Oh, no. Let's see. Oh, Tarmac's getting on the back of Pressure. I'd expect him to pass him. Dare I do anything? Go on, very quickly. No, he's too far behind at the minute.
Pressure's also got those lights on.
I think Tarmac might be on the back of him before the end of the lap. Oh, Ali's dropped back a bit, according to the timing. It doesn't look it from there, does it? Let's be honest. But
no, he could have just braked it a bit too hard on a corner or something.
It's still showing him about a second off. But that's
but we know from checking those qualifying
before,
always they can make up a lot of time on this last sector. Was where they were getting a lot of time on some of the guys.
Yeah, they were massively better, weren't they? There was like 3 or 4 tenths in it, weren't they, compared to everybody else. The thing is, Kenny's got himself out front, and if he can defend coming down the hill here, you've got coming down the hill here, and you've got coming down the back straight, haven't you? As the two sort of prime overtaking spots. If you get people who are Ratek's just at the back of. Boy, according to this.
So Ratek did a good job. I mean, he had that spin. It reminds me a bit of when I did Dubai and I had a spin right at the start, and you have to catch up to everyone again.
It is, but the good thing is, it's like, say, mine at the start of this race. Okay, it was lap 1, you still think there's 12 laps left. If it was on the last lap, you know you're doomed, but if it's on the first lap, anything could happen. As it was, I was a lap behind coming out the pits, and I finished 6th out of 8, so at least I gained 2 spaces.
Yeah, I just want to mention there, Ratek's got his lights on as well, so I don't know, lights are looking fast today.
Yeah, lights are the new go faster stripes. They're dropping Ali off the back of these too.
Cameraman just dropped his camera there.
Yeah, he did. He's drunk. He's seriously pissed, this bloke. He really is. See, again, it's showing Ali's close, but
it's
on
just
the timing,
incredible
it's showing
like,
over
that these guys are holding on like this for so long.
It's almost symmetrical, isn't it?
It is.
The
it's
gap
like
between the three of them,
like a perfect line here going through. And check the angles through the corner.
See, if I look at Kenny now coming down, that's why I wanted Kenny, so it'll show the 3 cars. If you look at them all coming through, right, Kenny goes into there. There doesn't look to be much different in that, did there?
They're looking close.
I'm just going to dare a minute, because I know I'm looking at the dots as well as on the track map, so I was guessing that he might have a go here, and he might still do, because these 4 corners kind of interlock. I think
some people carry a lot more speed through these couple corners now than others.
In the Expo, I was trying really hard not to brake even round that one, but I think they both ran wide there, so that cost Ratek any chance he had of getting him here. Although it's coming off here.
Pushing too hard, he goes into the wall. That's not what he wanted.
For him, he's not lost too much time off it, and he's probably not come out too
But he
bad.
might have some suspension damage. That's the problem. Did he pick up damage?
And obviously now he's got.
But that was, heat of the moment. You're pushing his.
Kenny
goes into the wall. Oof.
He
does the same
thing.
Pit? Too much curb, too much pushing. He won't pit. Yeah, he's too late in the race.
He literally caught the curb. As I just looked at him, he caught the curb. So sorry, mate. Commentator's curse for you today.
That's 2 Matsutsis through. So both green cars making that same mistake.
Yeah, after 10 laps, he'll be sick of him for that one, Kenny. It's only a lapse of concentration, isn't it? It's, yourself, it's the briefest little lapse.
And it's the pressure of having he's got guys that are so fast behind him there. I mean, we've seen Carlo do it before. We've seen all of these guys. You have a fast guy behind you. You start making mistakes if you got to deal with that amount of pressure.
He was holding them off quite comfortably. They were getting near, but he was keeping them at arm's length.
One thing that did do was turn Kenny's lights off.
He's put them back on now. But no, it just, like I say, I still think he will. He's got to go for it. Look at the gap. He's got an 18-second gap between him and Roy. He may as well go for what I will call shit or bust. He might not go for it yet.
You can see he's dropping off there. I think he's picked up some suspension damage.
And he might as well. It's not worth pitting, because he would lose. He'd come out last, in truth.
Yeah, it's not worth it. Same story right now for Ratek, to be honest. Ratek will be having the same struggle, just in a different place.
On the back of a tree. No. I love that when he does that.
Tarmac getting close to his teammate there. You can see there in front.
He was. I'm just going to jump. Oh, why does it do this? They've probably passed the finishing line, haven't they? No. It keeps coming up and saying they're close, but then they're not close. That's something I'm getting as cameraman. I'm getting the exclamation mark telling me that's where the action is. So I'm jumping to it, and then it's within, not as close.
It's within a few minutes. There's like a distance between that it triggers it. So
yeah,
I think it's every time they get to like a corner or something.
It's literally, I think it's like within a second usually, or no, actually it's still on. It's over a second. I wonder if it's like 1.5 seconds or a certain.
But that really like helped the Matsutsi brothers there, and also helped Roy with that Ratek one, because Ratek dropped off the back of him now. So.
Yeah, but he's still within what is he? 2.5, 3 seconds.
I think he's struggling. You can see there. Oh, Roy, as we say that, jinxed him. He's backwards down that back straight, and now he's going to get overtaken by everyone. There come the other two.
Gutting.
Right at the end on the 11th lap out of 13. He didn't look like he took damage though. So if he can put in some good laps here, who knows? He might at least catch one or two guys.
He's only got 2 and a bit left.
He can do it.
Again, we had drunk cameraman syndrome there, just trying to find
We've seen how easy it is for these guys to make mistakes. He's just got to put in the laps and hope.
But I think it's when people are trying to force it that little bit more. And Carlo's getting away now. He's stretching that out. To be fair to him, but we'll stay here.
I mean, look how close these two guys are as well. I think Tarmac's going to take a look here somewhere.
He might not dive yet because Tony's defended that quite well. Tony's took the middle ground.
This isn't the easiest of turns to overtake. I struggle in this section to overtake.
The best thing you can do here is try and get as tight as you dare up someone's arse, to put it rather blunt. This is what he's going to try now, coming out of these two corners, coming out of this little chicane.
Still quite tricky. I would say the next sort of corner after this one, when the next corner is where you make your move.
See, if he comes out of here well and he carries that speed through these two, it's really into the straight where you want to have it. Tony's tried to defend that.
That's going to slow him down.
But this is where he might get taken, you see.
Just see Roy runs it a bit wide there, pushing quite hard.
But Tony's holding the line. No, he should have stayed there, I think. Oh no, actually, worked for him. I thought Tarmac might have tried to outbrake him into the corner.
That's what I was thinking. I think he did have a look, but he decided against it.
But he's got another lap, so if this was last lap, it's full send and hope for the best, isn't it?
It is last lap though for the Matsutsi brothers.
Yeah. I'm going to stay with these two, but I'll keep an eye on the track map for Carlo. And I mean, that's a good thing. That's why I like the track map. It just gives me another visual, and I can just see. Even if we're watching somebody else, I can just see the dots and see what else is going on. Again, Tony goes middle of the track just to stop Tarmac. Tarmac would have to go outside him, and it's really hard to do.
It's not an easy track for overtaking this. No, you had to back out.
Yeah, I don't think you should have tried. I think you should have stayed behind him until you get up to here again. He's missed his chance.
This is the spot. This is where you got to put in your best line.
Yeah, I think he's missed his chance. He's too far back.
They almost look like they're catching up to Ratek. Actually, I think Ratek has got more damage than maybe we thought.
I think he's just trying to nurse it home, isn't he? I mean, look at. I'll stay here because they are still, and they're not losing Roy. To be fair, yeah, you can see Ratek in the foreground there. I'm assuming that was Ratek.
Matsutsi wins. Ali, he comes second.
Let's get the
third
two of them.
for Kenny.
So there's a winner. There's a second. There's Kenny.
So Ratek is now going to cross a line, hopefully in fourth. That's his plan. Last corner here with all his damage.
Yeah, he's comfortable. He's comfy here. These two is where it's going to be. But let's get Mark coming up. These two will be interesting coming over the brow of the hill because they are.
You can see literally there in the background. They're quite close.
He should hold it. He should hold it.
But good job from Tony. He holds on to 5th place, 6th place Tarmac. Now where is Rock there? He's coming over the line in 7th.
Yeah.
And Pressure, what happened to him? We haven't seen him most of the race.
Yeah, he had a bad hit, I think, and he had to. I think he didn't he do a complete spin, and that sort of cost him a bit.
And he crosses in 8th. Not bad for his first go.
No. You know what? I know him from way back. Well, I'm saying way back, quite some time ago. And in fairness, he's come on much better. His lap times are better. Still going to make some mistakes. It's still early days for the lad, and he's a young lad. So, but in fairness, no disgrace in doing those sort of lap times. He's pretty close, to be fair. Bloody eventful, wasn't it?
The beginning was insane. It was like watching a couple of laps in one lap. There was people spinning everywhere. It was, but that race up front.
Needed more cameras, didn't we?
That
we
race
a
up front was incredible.
Oh dear me! I think Kenny will be kicking himself a little bit. Look, fastest lap of the race, but that might have been when he was chasing. I don't know, but.
Well, remember he had that spin off the first sort of lap, or he ran wide like quite significantly, and he still managed to catch them and overtake them. So he was going fast.
The pace was certainly there. I think it's a case of when you get to that point, it's go for it, and I think he certainly did go for it. It was a damn good race. I hope people enjoyed watching that. It passed very quickly.
I think if Mark comes back, I don't know if he will, but if he does, we can ask him about his damage, because I think he had quite a bit of damage.
Yeah, I think he probably, judging by the way he face planted, I think he would have had some right suspension damage.
He looked for the rest of the race like he was kind of just limping it home.
It was a little bit ginger, wasn't it? The way he was nursing it home. Here he is now. Right suspension damage, Mark, or not? Not talking to me. He's probably muting himself off the other one and unmuting himself off the other one.
Changing all his headphones around, probably.
Yeah, he's probably getting mixed up in the wires. It's like spaghetti junction.
How's it, Mark?
His mic's not working. Are you there? Earth to Mark. Earth calling Mark. Are you in?
I am here, guys.
He's there. Simple question for the first one. Right front suspension damage, yes or no?
Yes, it was. Made the left-handers extremely tricky.
We could see you were struggling a little.
Yeah, and front aero damage as well. But that's part and parcel of racing, isn't it?
It was a good race, to be honest.
You still must have put the pressure, though, to Roy, because Roy made that mistake, and that allowed you through.
He's got to be gutted there. He's got to be gutted there.
I caught up to the back of him, and then I made a mistake myself and had a spin, which allowed him a bit of clear air, but then I don't know whether I was gaining as much, and I'd kind of settled for my position. Came around the corner and seen Roy.
There was almost two identical situations, just at different parts of the track. Kenny had that
two
spin.
3-man battles.
He had that spin after he was winning the race, and it dropped him to third. And then the same thing happened with Roy, like just moments between each of them.
Kenny would be gutted.
And as he spun, you got through, and the two cars behind you as well. So, I mean, similar situations for those two. We got to say, first lap on this track in these cars, there was a ton of action. There was spins everywhere.
Didn't know where to go, did we?
We couldn't figure out where the action was, but the top three guys were quick.
Screens. Could have had a bank. I tell you, the one thing, looking at it retrospectively, and kind of, because it's a short enough race for my small brain to kind of, like, keep in focus afterwards. Had Kenny, because Kenny was keeping the brothers, he was keeping them at arm's length. They were on the back of him, but he was keeping them at arm's length. They weren't, like, attacking him every corner. He had enough distance between them. I think that had that stayed like that, that would have helped to concertina the race a bit. Because I don't think Kenny was going full out. I just think he was making sure he held his position. The problem was where he came off the back of the left-right, coming up turn 4 or 5, isn't it? Sorry, yeah, turn 4 leading into turn 5. And he just caught the side of he literally rode the curb as everybody does coming out of there, but he got his back wheel on the grass. And everyone who does that on this track, there's only one way you're going, and it is not in a straight line. And obviously the brothers got through then, and it was, in truth, Kenny probably had a little bit of damage because he did.
That was super solid from the Matsutsi brothers. That was a great drive.
Solid. To be honest, it was solid. Like the three at the time that you're alluding to, you had obviously the two brothers and Kenny. Then you had Roy, who was kind of like in fourth place, just happily consolidating the position with no real attack, no chance of catching the front three, and no real threat from behind at that point in time. Then there was you, Pressure, and G32, or was it you, G32, and Tarmac? I can't remember which three it was now.
I think
that
Tarmac,
was a really good battle as well.
Dropped to the back. I think it was G32 and
yeah.
And
that was a good battle at one point. So at one point you had 2 3-man battles going on, didn't you? Which was really, really good to watch. It was, for a 13-lap race, there was a hell of a lot bloody happened in it.
Yeah. Looking forward to the night race endurance on Thursday.
Yeah, definitely throws up some close racing opportunities for the night race, doesn't it? For the endurance.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to getting in the Expo. I'm looking forward to getting in the GT4 when I do, because out of the two cars, it's the one I much prefer. Although it was fun full sending the road car, because literally that's the only way to drive it around here.
Yeah.
It took me a few laps to get enough balls to do it. But you quickly realise, because Kenny said to me, he said 3rd and 4th, that's all you need. So basically I was trying to keep it in 4th gear for most of the time. There's 1 or 2 places you drop into 3rd just briefly and then back into 4th, and it's like, it makes a hell of a difference, but the tough part is keeping the turning circle right.
Yeah.
Because you're trying to maintain those revs, you're trying to keep it in the high revs all the time, and you're concentrating on that, and then you forget where you're turning.
Yeah.
But yeah, damn good.
Anyways,
fun.
guys,
shall we see if they're in Discord?
We can talk all night here, but we've got to close this stream down. So thanks for watching, everyone. You can catch us again on Thursday night for the endurance part of this GT4 KTM Expo race, and that
same
one
time.
Yeah, exactly the same time as we started the stream tonight, and
same time, same place, same people,
different
race.
Different race, different. It's a nighttime condition, and it works slightly differently. So we'll see you then.
I've got a technique for that race. It's turn my lights off so nobody knows where I am.
Yeah. And then you turn them on and you go, I'm Batman.
I've won! Yes! I've won! Yes, nobody realises I've just sat by the start line and I've just crossed to the end.
Anyways, guys, thanks for joining. Cheers and good
have
night.
a good one, everybody.
Catch you guys.